He goes, now I'm in my weight. Before I was fighting guys bigger than me, now I'm in my weight. Let's go monster hunting, he said.
How can a guy so little like get so much torque like on his punches?
Fight fans, welcome back. Since becoming flyweight world champion over 6 years ago, Naoya Inoue has wreaked havoc throughout boxing's lower weight classes. With the kind of poise, power, and precision that only comes once in a while. After passing his acid test against one Filipino opponent last December, we had hoped to see him increase his status and his fear factor by taking out another this summer.
Me, I'm a real monster.
However, with the Casimiro fight now looking to be off the cards, a stacked division, and an ever-growing list of potential opponents awaits.
Going to take a hell of a fighter to stop this guy.
And so here, in anticipation, we take a look at before and after the monster's most recent victims. Welcome to a Motivadia presentation.
Japan, the WBC light flyweight champion of the world.
After 5 years and 13 professional fights in his homeland, Inoue's success and growing profile opened the gateways to his long-awaited U.S. debut.
The HBO and US debut of Naoya Inoue. There are a lot of folks who think that he may be the next big thing in boxing. For those fans who don't know you, who don't know what to expect, how would you describe yourself as a fighter?
I have a style where I don't let the opponent throw punches, and from there, I try to knock the guy out.
An opportunity where, in a confident and self-assured manner, it was the 17-1 prospect that stepped up to the plate.
You know, obviously he's a two-time world champion for a reason. He's a solid fighter. But, you know, we see things that we're going to be able to take advantage to take him all away from his game, and it's going to lead us to the victory.
A man with every belief he could ruin the party before it had even started.
We're going to see if the power is devastating, like everybody says, on Saturday, and we're gonna work to the victory, and we're going to put the hype down for everybody.
Despite being a 33-1 underdog going into the fight, the American fought his heart out. Though slowly being dragged further out of his depth, the middle rounds turned into an offensive onslaught.
It looks like Nieves is trying to find somewhere to hide in the ring, and he can't find it as Inoue continues to track him down.
So much so that by the end of round 6, it was all over.
Trainer Joseph Delguide has a decision to make. And he has made the decision. Hell of a fighter to stop this guy. Does he have an X factor? He's got several X factors as far as I'm concerned.
And with his 12th knockdown in 14, the monster's U.S. introduction was just as devastating as predicted.
And we were told to expect something special. That was quite a show.
With 6 WBO title defenses, the boxing world was becoming more and more aware of Inoue's talent.
You didn't know he was?
I didn't. I still don't even know his... I can't pronounce his first name. I just call him Inoue, yeah.
Unfortunately, it seemed the Japanese star's next opponent, Jamie McDonnell, was not quite sure what he was letting himself in for.
So I got a bit of buzzing, and I literally turned around to say to Arkid, and Arkid went, "He's good in though, bruv." And I said, "Is he?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "But he ain't like snow you hadn't seen before." He said, "So don't worry." So I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough." So we had a session, got him van on way home, and I just googled him on YouTube and thought, yeah, he's tasty, but I can beat him.
On a 10-year unbeaten streak, the Brit and his team entered with the belief they could not only tame the monster, but take him out.
And on the inside, he's strong, he can fight on the inside. So we would like to stop him.
However, the boldness was short-lived, and whether he was caught cold or simply overwhelmed, his dream of forcing an upset evaporated in less than 2 minutes.
Well, at the moment, heavy left hand seemed to catch McDonnell high on the head, almost on the top of the head there, and his legs seem a little bit shaky here. A minute and a half into the first round, and McDonnell goes over from the left hand to the body, looking to tee up with that right hand, left hand, and McDonnell sags into the ropes again, and Luis Pabon, the referee, has jumped in and waved this off. Jamie McDonnell has been blown away by Naoya Inoue.
Listen, he could have sat there and just stood off and just played it safe and lost on points. He didn't. He went out. He went out on his shield. He put his balls online and he tried to win.
In similar fashion, there was no post-fight output from the Brit, though during a later interview with Sky Sports, he referred to Inoue's power as being as real as it comes.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Yokohama. Will you join us for the opening night of Season 2 action in the World Boxing Super Series?
With his progression from the big stage onto the even bigger stage, the Japanese fighter thrived in the limelight. And at the end of 2018, opening the Super Series, this time it would be Carlos Payano's turn to face boxing's most dangerous man.
Inoue's in a lot of trouble. He can have his grandmother as the referee, his grandfather, uncle, and brother as the judges, and he can swap with a cousin in between rounds if he wants to fight. He's still not going to beat Payano.
Known as El Jefe, the hard-hitting Dominican fighter was humble in his approach, but unfazed by his underdog status, telling the media and his rival, "You gotta kill me to beat me."
La idea que él tiene que tener es que cogió uno de los más fuertes, eso estoy seguro.
ラフさもあり、テクニックもあり、やっぱりキャリアのある選手なんで、いろいろとこう勝つための引き出しを。
He's always been the opponent, and in many of the scenarios he's been the opponent, he knocks out whoever he's fighting. It's going to be no different.
So here we go then. The WBA regular bantamweight championship of the world on the line.
However, much like McDonald, Payano was not even given the chance to test his mettle, and met with a picture-perfect 1-2 showstopper in just 70 seconds. Inoue had done it again.
Majority decision. Combination, and Payano has been stretched on the canvas. Naoya Inoue with a devastating statement of intent. A first-round knockout.
Another first-round stoppage and a split-second verification that the monster's power had followed him up to bantamweight.
It was a great night, great fights. I think Inoue is probably the best fighter I've ever seen live. Absolutely unbelievable.
After snatching a split decision against Jason Maloney, a man who has now come into consideration as Inoue's next opponent for the second half of 2020, it was Emmanuel Rodriguez who edged into the semifinals.
We have the champion, Manny Rodriguez, the challenger, the monster, Naoya Inoue.
In the run-up to this one, neither man gave much away, though Rodriguez, a talented and well-schooled Puerto Rican, looked set to give Inoue his toughest test to date, vowing to shut a lot of people's mouths in the build-up.
15 rounds, we're in good condition, we know he is too, so what I'm going to tell you, Manuel Rodriguez is going to continue the IBF champion of the world.
Victorioso el sábado, sea por nocaut o decisión, eso nosotros no te lo podemos pronosticar. Nosotros estamos bien preparados.
Have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch gloves, keep it clean.
And competitive in the first round, he looked to be doing exactly that.
Rodriguez certainly not overawed by the occasion, by the opponent, by the reputation of Inoue.
Though, as Inoue stepped up a gear in the second, Rodriguez was drawn into a slugfest.
I gave it to Inoue closely.
A slugfest which had only one winner.
Rodriguez. Straight left hand there, just dumps Rodriguez down. It was short, it was sharp, and it was heavy because he carries that right a bit low. Left to the body, down goes Rodriguez. He looks at the corner and he shakes his head and he's not going to make it.
What a fighter! What power!
In his post-fight interviews, the Puerto Rican made no excuses in his performance or his preparation and gave full credit to the Japanese star, who now had his eyes set firmly on the Muhammad Ali trophy.
Be here for some odd reason. I've always felt that I was going to be here. He felt that I was going to be here, and now it's happening. And this is what boxing is all about: the best of the best.
Naoya Inoue takes on future Hall of Famer Nonito Donaire. Sell-out crowd of over 20,000 in the Super Arena.
At some stage of every great fighter's career, there comes an acid test. And without question, the Super Series Grand Finale, featuring the 4-weight super champion in Nonito Donaire, was Inoue's time to shine.
It's going to be, a question whether Inoue is able to, as he said at the press conference, climb that wall. Donaire, interestingly, compared himself to building the wall.
Also labeled in marvelous fashion as the Flash versus the Monster, fans were always going to be in for a treat.
At the end of the day, he's not really, I mean, if you guys believe in monsters, then good for you, but he's not really a monster, let's face it.
To make the build-up even better, Donaire reminded fans exactly why he shouldn't be overlooked, claiming that the sport's toughest challenge would bring out the very best of him.
The thing about it is I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I know exactly who I am, and I know exactly what I am inside that ring. So it doesn't matter what people or what odds there are.
Experience versus youth and size versus speed. The 2019 Fight of the Year, even for Inoue, will be a tough one to top.
No wonder that we've seen so many knockouts, 16 KOs. A good left hook seems to stagger Donaire there. His reputation as a puncher is, as it is, uppercut, left hook. This is the home crowd now, really get behind him. And a lovely left to the body. Lovely shot. Fantastic stuff. Well, they go toe-to-toe to the final bell.
It was the first time he'd heard the final bell in 4 years. But with the ultimate test of his chin, his heart, and his composure, the monster had passed with flying colors.
I felt that at any moment I could take his punches. You know, he hits hard, you know, but I think the most dangerous for me was that body shot. That one hurt. That one hurt a lot.
Where for some, Donaire's brave and youthful performance still leaves some questions unanswered, maybe that's the beauty of it. As an array of exceptional fighters, both at bantamweight and beyond, provide more and more challenges for boxing's latest and greatest.
Inoue, the monster, is a very good fighter, and it will take him one day, of course.
Likewise, the majority of his opponents have had little to say in the aftermath of facing Inoue, which may speak volumes in itself. As instead, we are left with the visual distress and those telltale signs, reactions that send out an equally, if not more, unnerving message to the future opponents that lay in wait. Creepy Joe, thanks for letting us know. We had no idea. You're right, it is the height of pride to think we could have fun with the audience by riffing on their comments. Total hubris to bring any recognition at all to what the fans do for the channel by commenting and engaging with the content. We humbly swear we will absolutely not do it again until the next Motivedia presentation.